Hey kiddos. Good morning. It's nice to see you guys again. I am going to be doing two things with you guys today. The first one is a small little craft, and the other one is a little counseling technique that might help right now. If not, it's fun, so we're gonna do it. I want to talk to you guys about worry. So worry is when you just keep thinking about something over and over again, and you can't like get over it. Sometimes people say, well, you're scared, and they use the word scared and worried together, and they're not exactly the same thing, but they are in some ways. Scared is when you don't want to do something because you're afraid something might happen to you, and worried is when that's something that you keep thinking about over and over again makes you think that something's going to happen to you or to somebody else. So they kind of are the same, especially, right now there's a lot of both. People are scared and people are worried. And so I'm going to kind of talk to you about what we can do to kind of help with that. First of all, as we worry about things all the time, as a mom, I worry about my kids. I worry if my kids that are in college, are they okay? I don't talk to them all the time. I don't see them all the time. So I worry and I hope that they're doing fine. But I don't go crazy with my worry. I don't call them every 5 minutes. Like, what happened? I saw you left the house. What happened now? Where are you going? Are you okay? Did you get there all right? Or tell them every night before they call them every night and be like, did you have a good day? Okay. And then call them in the morning. Hey, you made it out of bed all right? Okay. Those are kind of things where that's worrying too much. They are adults and they're going to live their life, and I need to just trust them that I raised them right and they're going to be okay. Then I worry about my kids at home. I worry that right now, it's hard for them. They get stressed out really easy with doing the work. I get stressed out because I have to help them do the work, and I get frustrated and they get frustrated, and I don't want to put that on them. So I'm worried that maybe they're not getting the best right now, but this is what we can do. I worry because I don't want to go outside. I might get sick. I don't want to go run around places. I don't want to get sick. I don't want my kids to get sick. I don't want my husband to get sick. And then you can just worry about the world. Like if you get on the news and all they talk about is the COVID-19 virus and how it's spreading and where it's at. And there's just a lot of stuff that's out there that's easy for us to worry about. But we can't control those things. I can't control what's going on in the rest of the world. I can only control what's going on in my house right now. So me worrying about those things that I cannot control it just makes me feel bad because I'm worried about something that I can't do anything about. So today we're going to do a little craft as well as talking about worry. We're going to make a worry jar. So a worry jar is a place where you can put the things that you're worried about and leave them locked in here and keep them safe so that you're not having to carry around all these worries in your head all the time. You can put them in here. And then when you just feel like I really need, that's really on my mind, I can take that one worry out and talk about it. The one thing that it upsets me right now. And then when I'm done talking about it or thinking about it, I put it back in my jar, and then I'm done with it again. And I put my jar back on my shelf. Now, to make this little craft, there's a few things you need. You need the lid and the container from your lunches that the school gives out. They give these out all the time. So save them. We're going to be using them for a bunch of different things. So you need the lid and the container. You need some tissue paper. I just picked pink, but you can get whatever, and it can be used tissue paper. It doesn't matter because you're going to be ripping it up into little bitty pieces anyways. So we're going to be shredding them. So you need that. You need glue. This is the glue I had at home. So this is what I'm going to use. You can use white glue. You can use a glue stick. Anything that you have will work just fine, but you need some glue. Because I'm using this glue, I need a paintbrush. But you can use your finger if you don't have a paintbrush, but I'm just going to use a paintbrush to help me do my container. And then you're going to need a piece of paper and a pencil to write with. And your parents might need to help you with that one, but you need a piece of paper and a pencil. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our little jar, and I've got my little pieces of paper that I ripped up, and it doesn't matter what they look like because we're going to put them on here using like stained glass. So I'm going to take some of the glue on my brush, just like this. And I'm going to put them on my jar like this, wherever, it doesn't matter. And then I'm going to take a piece of tissue paper and I'm going to push it down so it looks like that. And then I'm going to do it again. I'm going to put some glue down and another tissue paper and put it down like this. And it's okay if they overlap. Oh, it stuck to my brush. It's okay if they overlap, because when they do, it has like this darker color. It's kind of cool. It'll look kind of like stained glass. So I'm just going to paint the edges down to make sure it stays down. And I'm going to do the next little part. And you're just going to keep going all the way around the jar. Now you can use different colors if you want. You can mix it up if you like to. Or you can use the same color like this one. It doesn't matter. And so you're going to do this until the entire jar is covered. I wrote worry jar on mine, but you can write whatever you want on it. But you're going to cover the whole jar. I even covered the bottom. And then I covered the lid a little bit. I didn't do the edges of the lid just because of the fact that I'm going to have to put the lid on this and take it off and put it on there and take it off again. So I'm going to move all my stuff out of the way, and so you can kind of see what I'm doing next. So here is my piece of paper and my pencil for the next part of this. There are things that I worry about I cannot control. So I am going to put what those things are on here. So I worry about people around the world getting sick. So I'm going to put on here people around world getting sick. So I just wrote that on there real quick. Okay. Some other things I worry about is I worry about my mom. My mom is in her late 70s, and she kind of lives alone. There's 2 grandkids that come and go a lot with her, but she's kind of older, and if she gets exposed to it, she might get sick. So I'm going to put that on there. So I worry about my mom. So I'm going to say my mom getting sick. So I add that to my paper. Some other things I might worry about. I'm kind of worried about people's jobs. People are losing jobs, and that's going to hurt them and their family. I can't change that, but it's something that I worry about. Maybe you worry about your mom and dad and their job, or your grandparents, and if that's who you live with, or maybe you worry about an older brother who kind of helps pay bills and he might not have a job for much longer. Those are all things that right now are going through a lot of people's minds. Maybe you're worried about just getting sick yourself. So I'll put on here me getting sick. And although there's a lot of things that keep people from getting sick, they've asked us to stay home, which is why we're not going to school right now, so that if one person has it, they don't give it to a bunch of people. If you're at home with your family and nobody in your family has it, then more likely you should not get it. So that's one of the things that kind of helps us from getting sick. Washing our hands all the time. When we do go in public, we have to be careful not to touch everything or every person. Those are things that can help us, but that doesn't make that worry go away. I know rationally the likelihood of me getting sick is pretty low because I don't go anywhere and I just hang out with my kids. So I'm probably not going to get it, but it's still in the back of my mind. What if I go to the grocery store because my kid needs milk and the person next to me has it and I don't know? That's something that can be in my mind. So what we're going to take with all of these little things, and you might have a bunch more, and that's okay. Make your complete list. We're going to take a pair of scissors, and I'm going to cut these out into strips. Okay. So I have these strips, and these are all the things that I worry about. Now, I'm going to take all these little strips, and I'm going to fold them up, and I'm going to put them inside my jar. So let me tuck them all in here real quick. And like I said, you might have more. You might just have 1 or 2 things, and that's fine. So I'm going to take all of these things in here, and I'm going to put them in here. So now I have a jar that has my worries in it. Now, here's the rule about the worry jar. The worry jar is absolutely wonderful because it keeps all of this stuff from being in my head. It keeps me from being scared. It's all in here instead. But sometimes you just have to worry. So let's say I just need to just sit down and think about something. So I took the worry of people around the world getting sick. This is the only thing I'm going to worry about. So I'm going to hold this piece of paper in my hand, and I'm just going to worry about the other people. I might just, I hope they don't get sick. I hope they don't get sick. I might say things out loud. I might just say things in my head. But I can do this. I can worry about just this one thing. And then when I've worried about it for a few minutes or maybe a little longer, depending on how serious it is to you, I'm going to take it when I'm done, and I'm going to put it back in my jar, and I'm going to put the lid on it. My worry is still in here, but it's not in here. So now I can go about my day and enjoy the rest of my time. I can enjoy playing outside. I can enjoy playing with my siblings or reading a book or maybe coloring a paper. I can enjoy other things and not have to worry about those thoughts because they're in here. Now, if I need to worry about something again, I just open my jar and I take the one thing that I'm really worried about and I hold that paper in my hand. But when I'm done, I put it back in my jar. It's still nice and safe. It's nice and safe. So when I'm worrying about things, I can only worry about one thing at a time, and I have to have that paper in my hand. When I'm done, I have to put it in the jar, and I put the lid on it. And here's the big thing. Before I go to bed tonight, or every night, I put all my worries in this jar. I can't have any worries in my hand when I go to sleep. That way, when I go to sleep, I don't have any worries in my head. I put them all in the jar. Put the lid on so they're nice and tight, and they don't escape, and I just put it next to my bed. So throughout the day, I worried about one thing at a time and put them in my little jar and then put them up for the night. So tomorrow's a whole new day. And you might find that tomorrow you don't worry at all about you getting sick, so you never pull that piece of paper. Or maybe you find something else. Maybe something else happens and you're going to worry about that, or you're scared about that. Put that one in your worry jar and leave it in there. You might find that you take things out eventually and you're like, that doesn't even matter to me anymore. Rip up that worry and throw it in the trash. But this is your worry jar, and you can only worry about one thing in your head at a time. Everything else is going to be sealed in this jar for you to save. Okay? So I love you guys, and I want you to be doing the best that you can mentally and physically, getting outside and playing, and educationally, doing some of your schoolwork, a little here, a little there. But I don't want the rest of the world to creep in on all of that. So we're going to take the rest of the world, the rest of the things that we kind of worry about or we're scared about, and we're going to put them in this jar so that we can focus on the other things. Okay? So this is the next little section is just for parents. So parents, I got a couple tips for you. One, it's really important that in order for the worry jar to work very well, you need to kind of help them with that. You can only have one paper at a time. And at night, let's put all your worries away. Like, that's super easy to say. Let's put all your worries away and then put the lid on it. The other thing that kind of helps manage kids with worry is to have a time frame. To put them on a schedule, some type of a schedule where every 30 minutes, and I wouldn't make it more than 30 minutes for any grade level, first all the way up to seniors, have them get up at the same time every day, brush their teeth, eat breakfast, a schedule for some learning, whether they're watching educational videos or they're reading a book to a sibling or something like that, a break to go outside and play or to go play something, like literally break and do no schoolwork, nothing educational. Just kind of give them a schedule, and it works best if you write that schedule down. Just jot down 30-minute increments when you're going to be doing things throughout the day, just like a normal school day would, and then post it so the kids know what's going on. Like, hey, 30 minutes academic time, 30 minutes outside time, 30 minutes of play time, creativity time. I'm going to be doing little activities, creative activities on my videos. So if you want to watch those and get some ideas, most of the things I'm using are things that you can find around the house, just because I don't want people going out and have to buy stuff. But kind of help them with their worry by help them keep a worry jar, help them understand the rules, one worry at a time, put all of them up at night, put the lid on it, and then get them on a schedule so that their mind doesn't have a lot of time just to wander. It can stay focused on their 30-minute schedules or their 30-minute time frames. Okay, so as always, it's great to be an Eagle, and it's great to be at Austin Elementary. Tell somebody you love them and give them a hug today. I miss you guys. I love y'all, and I can't wait to see you guys personally again. Okay, bye-bye.